Hello, 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 and welcome. We are live today. Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen. As you can see, it says on here, if you're watching me on LinkedIn, which is Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen. If you're watching me on YouTube, it's at Jenny Kovacs. Just hit the subscribe button, please, and you'll be notified of these when you want to watch them live or on the replay too. Now, I am attempting to also stream, well, I am streaming on Facebook, Jenny Kovacs, Queen of Being Seen, and I'm also attempting to stream live over on Instagram too. And there's been a funny thing happening in the last 24 hours where it keeps dipping in and out. So if you're watching this on Instagram, thank you so much. I really thank you. And if you are finding that it keeps coming and going, then feel free to go over to my Facebook page, which, as I said, is Jenny Kovacs, the Queen of Being Seen, over on LinkedIn or over on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch this in full. So I can see that Insta's gone again. So yesterday on my live stream on Instagram, I actually showed you a little tip. If you are live streaming and it freezes, maybe the connection's not great or you lose some connection in some way, there's a little trick. I'm going to demonstrate it to you. And it's this: you speak, it freezes, and you stop mid-syllable, mid-sentence. You even keep a hold of your body language. When it comes back, ziz, because I was saying freezes, and you just carry on speaking. That's a tip, but I can't do it today because it's freezing on Instagram periodically. It's okay over here, and it would just look weird if I kept doing that to you. So today I want to talk about this. Have you ever had that feeling where you're like, oh, this feels so hard. It feels so hard. And you find yourself having trouble keeping the momentum. Ever had that? I know I certainly have. I've worked with thousands of people that certainly have. I've seen hundreds of companies who have had people that certainly had this. So today, I invite you to engage in what your this is. If this feels hard, what is it for you? Because it could be one of a million things. And for those of you that don't know, not only am I a visibility queen who's passionate about you being seen and being heard, and this is why I get out of bed in the morning, I also underpin a lot of my trainings with mindset work, motivational work, ways for you to motivate yourself. So you don't always need me here feeding you you have to do this or you have to do that. This is important to me because there are many areas of our lives that can affect how we show up professionally. And this in turn can affect how we show up when it comes to visibility. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about exactly this: when things feel too hard and ways to keep up the momentum. So I will take a sip of my pineapple juice. And here we go. In this video, the underlying three things that I would love you to take away from this are: thing number one, I have to be careful because the phone sometimes does some funny things. Thing number one is the act of being visible, the actual act of being visible, visibility and what it means to you. Thing number two, consistency. And what I mean by that is doing something regularly, not being forced into it or pushed into it, but your ability to show up and do the thing you need to do on a regular basis. And the third thing, rather strange thing I will be talking about, is what a difference a year makes. A whole 365 days, although this year, technically speaking, starting from January, it was 366 days, because of course the gorgeous leap year gave us a gift of an extra magical day. Now, if you're watching this, and you will be, way after February, and you didn't make use of the extra day on the 29th, get your calendar out, grab your diary, grab whatever tablet you're using to mark your time, and promise, not me, but promise yourself that you'll put that extra day in somewhere between now and the end of the year. Have that be a day for you to literally vision, dream, strategize, plan goals, create the things that you want to. And if it's connected to the this that feels hard, more kudos to you. Okay. So visibility, consistency, and a year, 1 year. So what does 1 year do? Let's start from there. 1 year gives you the ability to almost course correct. You know, sometimes you've got your sat nav on and you're driving in the car, and sometimes it totally just does it randomly. But other times you might have taken the first left, but you've taken it a bit too soon. And then the sat nav says, recalculating. What it should really say is, sit there, chill out. We've got this for you. Everything is cool. Everything's okay. And we've got this for you. We're going to sort you out and put you back on the right way. And when we do something for a long period of time, like run a marathon or do an ultra, we then push ourselves and push our boundaries out to our edges to find out what it is we can truly do. And people often think, you know, the point of a marathon or an ultra or doing something for a year is to go at it, be perfect, and do. In fact, it's the lessons and the insights that you learn along the way. And over the next few weeks, I think we've got the next five weeks people booked in to do this. I'll be introducing you to other people that have said yes to 365s in their own way and the fabulous things that they do too. So I can't wait to introduce them to you. So this 365 story, in February 2022, not on the 1st of January, not on the 1st of the month, in the middle virtually of February 2022, having worked with a number of clients, and I remember it took one client who was particularly struggling with the idea of consistency. And this was only over the 12 days consistency. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to check in with myself to make sure that I wasn't pushing somebody, because that's never the style that I like to train, teach, coach, or mentor in. You know, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't pushing them, and also that I wasn't asking them to do something that I couldn't do. But I knew that 12 days consistently being on video is quite easy for me. It is now. It didn't start off that way, but it is now. I also wanted to check in with my purpose of training in this way, because I have been training for decades now, older than I look. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm teaching or training people is to look for the most effective ways, but the most transformational ways to get a result. In fact, I still remember training a sales academy out over 29 weeks. Odd time, but it is what it is, 29 weeks. And I remember within the first couple of weeks, people were saying, so how's it going? And 9 times out of 10, if you ask me that question, how is the training going? I'll always say, don't ask me, ask them. I can say it's going brilliantly. They love it, but ask them and they will tell you the truth. They could say it's boring. They could say it's all right. They could say it's mind blowing. And what I noticed when I took this approach, which was frustrating for the company, I appreciate that, but very quickly, I had line managers, I had team members, I had execs that I didn't even know were paying attention coming to me and saying, what are you doing with these people? They're just very different. They're showing up differently. They're behaving differently. They're going through their work in a different way. They've got a spring in their step. They seem enthusiastic. They're doing something different. And it was that I actually wanted to hear. It was almost like validation that what was being done was working in the way it was supposed to. So when somebody tells me or shows me that they're struggling to do something, I look at 2 factors. Is there anything more that I can do? or is it something else that they're struggling, that's an outside factor that's struggling, that's a struggle for them too. And obviously there's only certain things that I can control, if that's the best word. There's certain things that I can definitely influence for that person. And if it's something that's outside of my control, then I normally give them the mindset, the motivation, the tools that they can deal with the outside thing too. It's the reason why you very rarely hear me talk very specifically about client conversations. We enter into this confidential contract. Yes, I've worked with companies and organizations, and I've also signed NDAs with some of them. However, there are some that are like, yeah, go out there, tell people that you've worked with us. And I will, but I won't tell you the specifics of who, because it's important for me that those people get that privacy that they need. What is a great share are the insights and what comes out of that. So if they can navigate what's going on in their personal life, in their professional life, and also navigate the consistency, the regularity needed to be visible, whether that's showing up on video, whether that's speaking regularly, whether that's getting booked as a podcast guest, or maybe you're a podcast host, whether that is going out there and networking in person, face to face, seeing the whites of people's eyes, whether it's going and growing your networks online or offline. All of these are important for me, for you to do. Okay, so I decided back in February 2022 that if 12 days was a challenge for them, but not for me, what time period would be challenging for me? And three things came up actually. In order to promise myself to show up for a year, that would be a challenge. So I was like, I'll take that. It needs to be challenging for me. Otherwise, it's just going to be too easy. The second thing was, if you'd asked me to do a video every day for a year, I could do that easily. In fact, on some of these days, I'm streaming my 365 days across 3 channels. And then I do an additional stream over on Instagram. Sometimes I'll do it at the same time, like today. So in effect, I'm doing the 365 twice. What's that? 770. Yeah, 770. Yeah, 770. Or in this year, 772. So I am pushing myself to that. But the other thing was, I wanted in February 2022 to go live. This now added a certain pressure almost for me to find a Wi-Fi connection or somewhere outside where it was great to connect and to do. And then the third thing to challenge myself, which kind of wrapped it all up in a bow, was to do this on my personal Facebook page. So off I went. And lo and behold, I got to February 2023. In fact, I tell a lie. I started in February 2023 and finished in February 2024. Excuse me, got my dates wrong. So I got to February 2024 and finished a whole year of live streams, not videos, live streams. Some of them were a few seconds long. Some of them were a lot longer. Some of them were like masterclasses. One of them saw me publicly crying, and all my conditioning told me this is so unprofessional. You shouldn't do it. I didn't do it on purpose. And also I didn't do it for the likes, clicks, or the shares. So I did it. I made it. And at the other end, it's easy now for me to say I did it and I made it. But there are lots of things along the way, not too dissimilar to when somebody runs an ultra, somebody runs a marathon, somebody does something that pushes them. It pushes their boundaries. It pushes what they thought was possible. So when we decide to do something for a year, on the outside, it looks easy, but on the inside, it challenges us. It really challenges us. So this is an important thing, because when I ran my first marathon, or should I say completed my first marathon, because I walked it. I did 2 and I walked them. I remember being really nervous about marathon day. And somebody in a marathon group I was in said, everybody, to everyone who's running the marathon, enjoy the day. Remember that the marathon is your victory lap. What? You've put in the training, you've done the work, you've done everything that you can do. Today is marathon day. So use the marathon as your victory lap. And this is what I want to say to you. If you're doing something that feels hard, there'll be inadvertent training, inadvertent conditioning, inadvertent things that have come along the way to get you to where you were when you started doing the thing that feels hard, and whilst you're doing the thing. The thing isn't the thing to focus on. The reasons why you did it in the first place, connecting back with your why, as I spoke about, I think it was yesterday or the day before, knowing your purpose of why you're doing the thing. Now, let me talk about when something feels hard. And on this one, I'm going to take the 365 days of life. Having done it before, and also, oops, getting messages galore. Having done it before, and also having, like, going through it another time. What has been important on the way to the 365 days, on the journey to doing it every single day? And this time I made some adjustments. I would go live where I could, but if not, I would do a video. Okay, so I can plan that around my days. The important thing to think about is why you're doing it. And when it feels hard, rather than beat yourself up and go down the path of, I don't think I can do this anymore, I don't know if I want to do it, I've had enough, and all of those other things, instead, reflect on why you wanted to do it and then what you thought you would happen. So being candid, the very first year, I'm going to put my glasses on because I can see some stuff coming up that I want to be able to read. The very first year, I thought to myself, after 30 days, with each stream, there are going to be more people following, more people watching, maybe more people commenting. And actually, that didn't happen. So I needed to course correct my own sat nav to ask, is that important to me? Because if it was, then I would need to change up what I was doing. I didn't need to stop what I was doing, just change up what I was doing to be able to get more of the result I was looking for. But actually, that wasn't important to me because I did it as a promise to myself. And the promise to myself was that I was going to do the whole year, regardless of whether anyone was watching. So if something feels hard for you, whether it's showing up and being visible, whether it's helping other people, whether you feel like you're being pulled in lots of different directions, whether you're thinking this job feels hard, I feel like I'm doing the job of 6 people, whatever the thing is for you, a couple of things to think about are this. Number one, look at what's most challenging to you. What's most challenging about the thing, about this that you're doing, and look at how you can course correct or readjust. So in this second year of going live, I wondered, would I be able to do it twice? Because I started it a few months after I'd finished the first year. Would I be able to do this again? Will it provide value? And I decided in the end that I would do it so I could show up in a way that is beneficial, not necessarily to me, but to you. I hear so many comments. I have so many conversations. I have so many people that tell me they struggle with certain elements of visibility, and I can do that. I can do that easily. So why not use this platform and these platforms as a way to share that where I can? And at the same time, there are a smaller percentage of you that want to go deeper into doing this, deeper into the work, deeper into knowing how you can do it too in your own way. So for that, of course, that then sits behind my services, my products and my programs. Now, there might be people that see these videos come up every day, roll their eyes and go, oh, not again. But here's what you've got to remember, not just about me, but about thousands of other business owners like me. We're business owning CEOs. And whilst we might have help from various different people with our marketing, our accounts, our PR, our training. For a lot of us, we spin a lot of plates. This is the marketing department speaking to you. This is the training director speaking to you. These are the talent management people speaking to you. And for me, I'm also the face of my brand. I'm the face of my company. It's Jenny Kovacs, myname.com. So it's important for me to be able to come to you and share all of these things. And what sometimes, like if you look at one of the posts that I posted on LinkedIn just this morning about a filter, whilst it might seem a random thing to do, I need to consistently review and reflect on why I started doing this. And one of the things that happens when I go into corporate spaces and people hear I'm a visibility specialist, they will often say, "Oh, you're not going to make us dance and point, are you?" So the thing that I shared earlier today with the filter on is normally an expectation of what people expect me to do for them. And I'm showing, actually, this is very different. I'm not a social media guru, although I'm good at using social media, been doing it for 15 years plus. I'm not here to make you feel awkward and dance and point. And I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to show you how to be visible as you. So over the next few weeks, the next couple of months, as some of you will wind down for the summer, some of you will use the opportunity, as I do, to be able to build and bolster and be even more visible behind the scenes. So I won't take a break from doing these videos. I'll keep on going. I won't stop inviting people into the Visibility Vibes Accelerator program or Activator program. And I won't stop talking about it and sharing many of the things I do, because for some of you, this is the ideal time. Maybe you've got the kids around you. Maybe you're going on holiday and you want to dip your toes into the water of doing it. And for those of you that want to do it in that way, I reward you. So the Visibility Accelerator program, you get access to it for a year. But for those of you that join between now and the 9th of September, you'll actually get longer access. You'll hear all about that once you're in, but you'll get longer access. And you'll get some very regular, very consistent tips to show you how to be visible in your way and in your world too. So if this is something that has piqued your interest and sounds of interest to you, reach out on whichever platform you're watching on. I can send you a link. We can jump on a Zoom call, a quick 15-minute Zoom call, and I can talk about what it will do. I can find out what your challenges are and match the right thing to you. And for some of you, it'll just be, no, I just want to get better at positioning myself on camera or being on video. And for that, I have a group, a Confidence on Camera group that I run every couple of months. And I also have a free download if that's something that appeals to you. So if you're watching this back on the replay, feel free to put hashtag vibes in there, so I know you're watching back on the replay. But if you want any of those video resources that I spoke about, the free download, or if you want to have a conversation with me, either send me a message or type hashtag video. If you want to speak to me, just put hashtag Jenny and I will contact you, send you the link. You can schedule a call. It's a 15-minute call to find out where you are, what you might need next. And the Visibility Vibes framework might not be the thing you need next. If that's the case, I'll tell you. But for that, today is day, 58, I think it is. Yeah, 58 today. So very close to 60. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing these. Thank you for the lovely messages that you send me, sometimes behind the scenes. And thank you for the comments that you put on this. That's it. Bye for now.